Well, hello and welcome to Game on Hay. As the World T20 Super 12s continue, it's yet another day with two matches. So let's tell you straight away what these two big games are going to be. First of all, in Sharjah, the first match of the day, live on air at 3 p.m. this afternoon, is the match between Bangladesh and West Indies. And dare I say it, it's a crucial match for both teams. Later on in the day, we have a local derby, if I can put it that way, if I'm allowed to. 7 o'clock tonight from Dubai, live from Dubai. Pakistan, their third match of the tournament. Remember, they've won 2 from 2, and they'll be taking on Afghanistan. So a lot to talk about there as well. So let me just introduce you to today's guests, this merry-go-round that we have in this Game on Hay studio. On my right, first of all, Aaqib Javed and Sir Viv Richards. Viv in his usual chair. He's established. He's very firmly in position in that usual chair. On my left, Sana Mir as well. Sana, very good morning to you. So let's first of all discuss this crunch game between Bangladesh and West Indies. Viv, you've been so very supportive of West Indies. How are you feeling about today?
I'm still feeling pretty good. I'm hoping the guys are feeling like I do. But it's a do-or-die match for both teams, actually. And I just believe today that the guys are going to find it. Today is going to be the day that they find some form which would help to prolong their stay in this particular tournament.
Well, as you say, must-win game for both. If we just look at the points table, this is what's going to slightly worry Viv, I think you'll see, because he knows full well, as does the entire West Indies squad, that being bottom of the table at this stage, having played 2 games, is not a great position to be. Forget the net run rates, they don't matter. It's all about who can win a game. Bangladesh are just above them solely on net run rate. And of course, the England and Australia at the top there, both with those 4 points, South Africa, Sri Lanka. Sana, should we say it's looking a tough ask?
It is a tough ask, a steep mountain to climb from here, but we have seen what West Indies can do. They have the potential of hitting 4 sixes in 4 balls to win a World Cup. So if they can produce some exemplary performances, and if England and Australia can lose a couple of matches, then there is an outside chance.
Well, those are the things that matter. I mean, Viva's got his thumbs in the air, as if to say, yes, support me, support me.
When she said about hope that the other guys beat up on each other, which would help to give West Indies some confidence to move forward. I love that talk.
Well, yeah, I'll just go, okay, just a couple of things. First of all, okay, right. So Bangladesh have played 2, lost 2. West Indies have played 2, lost 2. Bangladesh have West Indies, South Africa and Australia still to play. West Indies, of course, have Bangladesh today, and then Sri Lanka and Australia still to play. So of those opponents, I suppose you could just about say West Indies might have the slightly easier option, just.
I mean, look, it's good to be positive. And why not? Sometimes it works, because in '92 World Cup, we were at the stage where it's not important that Pakistan win all the game, but others lose too. You're relying on your success and others' failures to make you a champion. So I think sometimes it's happened, but their net run rate, if they win 3 games, they got 6 points, but still they have to beat somebody like they lost against
Today,
the other day.
After this particular win today, for sure they'll find some confidence.
Yeah.
And when you win 1, it's amazing where that leads to. And I just believe today that is the start of things to happen, if the other guys don't beat up on each other.
Okay. Okay.
Can I just ask you this? We've mentioned 1992. We've mentioned 4 years ago, a fellow called Carlos Brathwaite winning a game with successive 6s. Surely what's more important at this particular moment is what's happening now. And as you say, today is rather more important.
Yes.
So let's look at recent form. Let's think about the recent form of the West Indies.
It's not good. Let's, as you can see from where they're at in the table, they're going to start today. They're going to start today, and by starting today, the confidence level is going to rise to such heights that they're going to be able to accomplish things later on as the tournament goes on.
So, so one thing. It's about, before the game, you have a mindset going into the game. The first game, it was all bang, 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 bang. So they bowled out to like less than 60.
Yeah.
The next game, they were cautious and they took a lot of ball and no runs.
Javed, let's hope from all the stats that you would have given that they would have learned from the past.
So they need to find a way.
A middle way.
The middle way. It's
Can I
not
say
my
any
way or
way will
highway.
do, any way will do.
It's got to be a middle way where
Yeah.
they can switch their gears according to the situation.
Do you think they have... The one thing that I'm pointing on, David, is the fact that they do have the potential to accomplish that.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that they would have learned from the last two matches and
Okay.
that they would have had some understanding, the things that would have made them 2 times world champions.
I like it. Positive stuff. Let's just have a look at the squads though, because there is potential for change. There is potential to improve on the 11 that they've selected before, and obviously, as from what Viv's saying as well, a lot of potential to improve on the performance. There's certainly ample scope to improve on performance. But, right, this squad, I mean, there are people, for instance, like Lendl Simmons, who had a lot of time at the crease the other day, but no runs.
Too much time.
You've got all-rounders, big-hitting all-rounders who didn't get to the crease. You've got pace. I mean, for instance, O'Shane Thomas hasn't been used yet. You've got the spin, where you've gone from Aaqib Hussain leaving out Hayden Walsh, and then to playing the 2. So, Viv, come on, let's pick a team for the day. Let's pick a team for today that can turn this around for you.
I don't think I would have Lendl Simmons in my team today.
So who's going to open?
There is Andre Fletcher,
Yeah.
who I think have done pretty well in the past. Or even you can look to do some reshuffling. Some of the big hitters. We need a win, and we need to get that run rate up. This is a great opportunity for some of the guys, who are lower down in the order, rather than facing the last 2 or 3 overs, for them to make a name for themselves, being at the top of the order.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sana, that's one of the key things. If you waste 10 overs at the start of the innings, that's half the innings gone. If you waste the power play, you've lost 6 overs of field restrictions, which most teams have tried to take advantage of.
I totally agree, and we have seen in this tournament the first 6 overs how important they are, and with the harder ball it's easier to score runs also. But in the middle overs we have seen most wickets going down, and in this shorter format it's not easy to make a comeback. In the shorter format you have to dominate from the very word go, and if you're going to keep your best players after 10 overs you won't have that chance. So I totally agree with this strategy, that the best players need to face more deliveries.
And Aaqib, with the game being played in Sharjah, how much of an influence does that venue and that pitch have on the strengths and weaknesses of these two teams, do you think?
I mean, look, in Sharjah, especially in Sharjah, the first 10 overs are key.
Yeah.
When the ball is harder, is skidding through, take the advantage of it, score the maximum. And then, people like Puran and even they're playing Simmons at the top, you need somebody who can rotate strike after 10 overs. They're still thinking, okay, this is a game of cricket. You bang in 6 and then slowing down and then bang in the last 5. It's not happening here in UAE.
And is that especially in Sharjah? Because that seems
Especially
to be
in
the lowest.
Sharjah, when the ball is harder, after 10 overs, ball gets softer, and then it's not coming on the bat. So then you need to rotating strikes, playing unconventional shots. That pitch, particularly not for the big hits after 10 overs.
Is that a problem for West Indies? Because, I mean, Viv's looking at that squad, looking at the guys like, Pollard, Fletcher, Russell, who are big hitters on good pitches. Are they going to find it as easy, or are they going to find it difficult in Sharjah, do you reckon?
I think it's with the options that Bangladesh has.
Yeah.
Spin, Aaqib Hassan will be the challenging bowler for them. And I think he's right. Do something, shuffle. This is how you make difference, because send Andre Russell at the top and give him a license to kill. Why are you waiting, doing the same thing again and again and again and again? The result won't change.
can I make a recommendation to you for the West Indies Cricket Board? For you to come and be an advisor to what should be happening with the batting order?
I mean, look,
Hang on, let's see. Let's see if it works first today. Okay,
let's
so,
see.
Yeah, he's put his name down. He's put his name down. It all depends on results, doesn't it? If this works, if Andre Fletcher, for instance, does open, and if he does and he plays his shots with Evan Lewis as well, then they will get 80 off the first 6. But if it fails, then the pressure's still there.
The one thing I noticed yesterday, look at David Warner. He was staying low.
Yeah.
So it need to understand that when the ball is staying low, you need to, a batsman need to stay low. That is the key.
Yeah.
So this is what, I mean, look, if you're not there with the condition, what's going up, what's going on, then it will be too late.
Okay. Right, so that's West Indies. Let's have a look at the Bangladesh squad as well, because they are very much part of this game. They also need points. They're also on 0. They need to change things. Ironically, they also have a problem at the top of the order, because Lytton Das has made no runs, and sadly for him, he's dropped catches. Former wicketkeeper who needs the gloves, it seems, in the outfield as well. But they have got some very special players, like Shakib Al Hassan, who is still very much the leading all-rounder in this form of the game. They rely on Mushfiqur as well for runs and catches behind the stumps. They rely on Mahmudullah to set the example as captain. Do you think they need to make a change or two as well then, Sana?
Yeah, I also think Lytton Das, he can be changed, because he's under pressure. You can see he's under pressure and he's not been able to sustain that pressure. You can see it in the field, you can see it in the batting. So Soumya Sarkar, maybe he can be promoted up the order. Then Nurul Hassan, I think he has had a very good domestic season, then good knocks against Zimbabwe and Australia. He has also not scored enough runs. So definitely the top needs to be addressed, and then Mahmudullah, I think he can bat, and he's coming very low down the order. So if Bangladesh wants to win against a team like West Indies, they will have to promote him. They will have to make sure that he spends some time at the crease, because he's one batter who's made a very quick 50. So if you send him up, he can make a 70, 80 odd run. So why are they wasting him down the order?
Yeah, make the most of your resources. And what about the bowling? Because they have useful seam bowling, useful, not outstanding necessarily. And spinners, again, Shakib's been around for 15, 20 years, it seems, or even longer, it feels like it. So he knows what he's doing, but it's still orthodox. But again, this pitch comes into play, low pitch Sharjah. So if you're trying to hit the spinners out of the ground, you need the right delivery to pick.
Yeah, and with that bowling, I think their 11 has to be good. They've left the Skeen Ahmed in the last match, which was not good for them. And the changes that the captain is doing, rotation of the bowlers, they had a very close match with Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, and Shakib bowled 3 overs for 17 runs, got 2 wickets, never bowled the 4th over. So, like in the batting, they are not using their resources really well. In the bowling also, they can do better.
But that's the difficulty for Mahmudullah, because he's got a team which has potential, which he knows when you play against the top teams doesn't have the physical strength, as it were, doesn't have the star quality. That's why they have to come together. That's why they have to operate
and that's
together.
why Sharjah is a good venue for them, because at Sharjah, like Aaqib said, they don't need power hitting. They need intelligent, smart cricket, rotation of strike, orthodox shots, sweeps, reverse sweeps. So they have those kinds of players who can make runs in Sharjah.
And Aaqib, what about the influence of the toss, or what about the decision at the toss, do you think?
Daytime, not big one.
Yeah.
But selection-wise, you can make the difference. They still have 3 in their 15 squad. They still have 3 good seamers. If they play Taskeen, Robble, and Mustafiz, good.
If. Yeah.
And look at Sharjah. The effective bowlers, who could be? A pace, reversing in the end, and the wrist spinners, isn't it? So they have resources. I don't know, why didn't they use it? If I'm there, if somebody tell them, look at Taskeen, his bowls at 145. Rubel is a very effective reverse swing bowler. Mustafi is always there with the new ball or older ball. So if you have like three, very effective, skillful fast bowlers, as West Indies, what they're mistaking? They're not playing the pace. Thomas is there. They're not utilizing that lefty military man.
Well, I think he's in the reserves. He's in the reserves, I think. We're going to have to elevate him, yeah.
Vivian, just there's a slight problem for you here. When you made that job offer to Aaqib about consulting with the West Indies team, he's just applied for the same job, it seems, with Bangladesh. So it's going to be, the highest bidder's going to win here.
Well, it's two desperate teams, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, right, two desperate teams, absolutely right. Let's just check out the heads-to-head of these two teams then, because I don't know what clues this is going to give you as such. I mean, it's all about today. Whatever you've done in the last 5 games, there's a lot of L's there. Let's put it this way. There's a lot of L's for both teams. I suppose you can just about say mathematically Bangladesh have at least 2 W's there as well. But again, it's all about the opposition they've played. And at the moment, these two, just by their position on the table, would appear to be evenly matched. So it's a big game just to get off the bottom of the table.
Yeah, I think it's today we have got two contrasts. From one group, the teams who are at the bottom 2, and from the other group, the teams that are at the top 2. So, of course, one of these teams would want to come up with a good net run rate. I think that would be on the mind, because it is a tough group. It's not an easy group as compared to what the other group matches are.
But what chance is there, do you reckon, of this game being so one-sided that one or other's team gets that net run rate to lead?
I think with Bangladesh, with Afghanistan, West Indies and Pakistan, whenever they are playing, it can be a one-sided affair either side. So, because West Indies is playing today, it can be a one-sided game. And we don't know which side.
Are you still trying to cheer Viv up? Is this what you're trying to do?
I think I'm saying I don't know which side. They can get out on 60, but
Yeah.
then they can make 200.
Well, okay, but again, right, so when you're planning a game like this, we've talked about past scores for the grounds, and Sharjah, I think, is the lowest at 135, somewhere around there, as a sort of average, well, not average score, but you need a bit more than that. 'Cause we've seen 170 made at Sharjah.
Yeah, today,
Yeah.
West Indies should think like that. Okay, we are playing Chris Gale, who seemingly struggling with pace and the hard length. So against Bangladesh, there's no threat.
Yeah.
Go, face the first ball, and smack it, and make a big 100, and change the perception of West Indian cricket. Why not?
Well, I mean, the perception of West Indies cricket is about shots, about the ball flying, and that's the powerhouse of this West Indies batting.
Why are you holding Gale at number 3?
One of the big problems. That,
You
we've
play
seen-
him or you don't play him. If you play him, just give them
The
the
license to
maximum
go.
license to go. Hard ball, first ball, bang,
But
6.
his strike rate has gone down in the last 1.5 years. So, I mean, I'm not sure whether he is the one to take the charge now. Because if you can see in the last 1.5
Otherwise,
years.
he won't fit in there because he's not the fastest running between the wicket or nudging singles or rotation or strike.
There's an old saying in the Caribbean, and the West Indies have been taking advantage of it. You take care of the pennies, and the dollars would come. We haven't seen the first aspect of what should be done in order for them to create the dollars.
Yeah, but you've got so many different currencies in the Caribbean, it gets so confusing, that's the trouble.
Well, we're dealing with US dollars now.
So which dollar?
US dollar now. This is the common denomination.
And the other thing, Viv, you've always said about Chris Gale, even though he's he's 42, isn't he now? Even though he's been advancing in years, you reckon there's still one big punch there
Or two.
left, or two? Well, let's just start with one big punch today, yeah?
Because whenever he gets going, he's going to knock you out. A great Chris Gale's knock is always going to pay dividends. And it'd be just nice for us to see, and maybe the fans, just to be reminded, if he can get going today, what Chris Gale is all about. Because we would have seen his exploits over the years. And he would have done justice to what T20 cricket is all about. I'm just hoping that he can find a knockout punch today or two that would help his team to some prominence.
Yeah, I mean, Sana, just quickly, with someone like Chris Gale, who is a superstar, has been a major player for a long, long time. you sense or you know this is his last tournament, last major ICC tournament. So at some stage you want him to, or you feel emotionally you want him to bow out with something special.
Of course, I mean, all players deserve to be deserve to leave the game with respect. And with someone like Chris Gale, who has done so much for his country, I think I agree that whether it's the West Indies team leaving the tournament if they don't win, or it's Chris Gale, they should just go out on a big note. And that's what we, as fans and as admirers of their skill, we want also.
Yeah, well, there'll be fans praying for that, which is just a useful link, because it's time for us to take a break, and this is for Juma prayer, so let's take that break.